We're Toby and Callum, as you know. We started off thinking what we wanted to do. We've both done short films in the past, so we wanted to do something a little bit different that tests us as filmmakers, so we decided to go for a documentary. We started with landscapes as a general theme because of what we're kind of interested in making in the future. We like the idea of landscapes, but we wanted something a little bit more deep than just going to a place and filming landscapes, so we wanted a little bit more of a story behind that. So we decided to get as our tie-in landscape artists and painters. Here's Toby to talk to you a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so we're going to make a short 5 to 10 minute documentary that's going to focus on the life and kind of the past experiences of the Cornish landscape artist John Tregembo. It's kind of going to be motivated by an in-depth interview, and that's kind of going to base the story. We're going to pull different bits from that and kind of make him seem like a really inspirational person, because he is. He's done quite a few things, and I think he took a year out and kind of just went and travelled the world and painted, and he kind of just decided, hang on a second, I'm going to go and paint. So along with that interview, then we're going to put visuals on top, kind of him painting, him going around, him walking to all these coves and places in Cornwall he likes to paint, and just sitting there and just sketching out and drawing. I think we can get some really nice shots with that, some nice close-ups, and just make it like a really cinematical piece. Cinematical, is that a word?
It is now.
And Cam's going to talk to you about John.
So yeah, it will all be based around John and his life, the stories that he has to tell and the stories behind his paintings. We found John by, first of all, starting with Cornwall as a location because of its landscapes down there and its coastal stuff. We searched Cornish landscape artists, and he came up as one of the most sort of popular ones in Cornwall. He's done a lot of paintings. His paintings go for a lot of money because these are good paintings. So he lives in Padstow. He was born and bred there in Cornwall, which is a really nice town down there. He paints these kind of seascapes that we're really interested in capturing. As Toby said, he's got a lot of inspirational stories behind him as well, so a great subject for the documentary. He dropped everything at home to go travel and do what he loves and paints. So we find that quite inspirational. He has some experience of being on camera before. He's been on Channel 4 that he dropped in to us, so he does know what he's doing in front of the camera, is confident in that aspect. We did organise a Skype call with John, so there he is in all his glory. He's as crazy as a Cornish man can be, so he's a great subject. We kind of wanted to jump on Skype just to talk to him because he was a little bit blunt over email, so we said let's chat on Skype, generally to pitch our idea to him face to face, but also learn a little bit more about him and see whether it could work, because obviously our relationship between him is quite important in going down there and making a whole documentary just on him. And he is perfect. He's got a lot of views. He's quite an inspirational person. Strong views. So we thought it'd be a great subject, and this was really helpful for us.
Yeah, so in terms of research, we've looked at quite a few existing documentaries. This one by Jack Harries and his series Following Heart, about an artist in America, kind of really influence us a lot, if I can speak. And it kind of, we really liked how the cinematography really worked in that, and how he used the close-ups and kind of then uses the interview to kind of influence the rest of the story throughout the whole thing. We've also looked at articles and blog posts about how to make documentaries, because we've never made a documentary before, so we wanted to kind of see and find out all the tips of how to do it and how to light the interview. We did a survey and kind of to get just some small key answers to some of the questions that we had, and then we're going to do a focus group to get kind of more of a general feeling from what everyone wants to get.
Yeah, leading on from that, we did this survey as sort of a general first off bit of primary research for our audience, and when we did send it out on both of our Facebook via SurveyMonkey, and we kind of figured that was quite a closed group of people, and we figured this through the answers to some of the questions. For example, we asked, would you be interested in a short documentary about a landscape artist? And there was a mixed response. A lot of people said maybe or no, and we felt this might come down to people's age, because it might be seen as something maturer people, older people might like. We went on from that to ask, if no, why might you not like it? And they said it might be boring. Again, we thought this might come down to age because of where we posted it. So because of this, we're going to go on to do further research, some focus groups with people within our age group and focus groups within an older age group, see what we can do to make our product engaging for both age groups, because we don't want it just to be for an older one. So we want to see what we can do to avoid it from being boring.
Yeah, and in terms of locations for filming, it's going to be down in Cornwall, so where John kind of paints and lives. And it's going to be based mainly on the coast, kind of in all of the little coves. John's going to show us around. He's already told us that he knows some amazing locations that are going to look great on film as well. So yeah, these are influences, mainly kind of got some images out, and we really like the way how kind of these ones are lit. And I think especially the lighting for our interview is going to be quite important, because we can't go from amazing visuals and of beaches and kind of him drawing outside to inside just a plain him sat on a white wall. So we want to try and make it the interview as interesting as possible visually as well as intellectually.
That's stuff we've been looking at for our research as well, for the use of sliders. Like you said, the interview's got to be as beautiful as the stuff we're filming outside as well.
Yeah, so we did some test shots, and we just set up kind of a small interview with Peter, and we lit it kind of 3-point lighting just to test out where we put the cameras and how we light it properly. And yeah, it showed us that there's a lot to go into it. It's not just putting up 3 lights and 2 cameras and just pressing record. So because it took us quite a while to get all the angles right. So yeah, we learned quite a lot from that. Any questions?
In terms of like going down to Cornwall, you're not necessarily going to want to keep going down there. So have you got somewhere that you're staying, or are you?
Yeah, so we've looked at hotels and Airbnbs down there, and we'll probably go down for 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, we're planning a block of days. We've spoken to John about his availability, so we're starting to draft up our schedule now. So we're going to go down for 3 nights, 4 days, have a different day dedicated, one for the interview all day, then go around with John on the second day, B-roll day, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that was an outstanding pitch, like in terms of the content and how you delivered, like one of the strongest I've ever seen. And this idea has the potential to be one of the most amazing student films. Even just the theme, the fact that people in your age group have decided to do something like this is amazing. And I can imagine how it's going to look. It's going to look beautiful. It's really good. And for you to have this on your show reel as the last film you make as part of your second year, and neither of you are going to university, are you? So for you to make that film and go out into the world of work with the communication skills that you've got, the presentation skills you've got, and that ambition of making that sort of film, I think you're going to do very, very well over the next few years. So well done. The only issue with this film is that you're still level 3 students, and you're requesting from us that we let you go down to Cornwall to film some rocks by some waves. So the health and safety for this has got to be tight. We don't know where you're staying, the agenda for each day. And I think we're going to have a conversation with your parents as well. Maybe they come in or have a telephone conversation just to. There's no way that we as a college would allow this, that we would organise anything like this. So we have to have, your parents saying, we take responsibility, we're happy for this to happen. And it's just got to be perfectly planned so that any issues are covered, which I'm sure you're going to do. But I'm really excited by this film. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be beautiful.